You're listening to the Outer Banks This Week podcast, a place for people to hear what's going on up and down the beach and to get the truth about what really goes on around the Outer Banks. So, are you ready? Here we go.
All right, thank you so much, Wes. Outer Banks This Week podcast, episode 138. Oh, by the way, little birdie told me that my buddy Wes is going to be moving back here like next year. Thought that was really cool. Anyway, I'll be happy when that happens. But hey, yeah, episode number 138, and it's all brought to you by Kelly's Automotive in Manteo. Ride by there twice a day at minimum. Sometimes it's more than that. I have to ride by there. And of course, if you're coming into Manteo for anything, really, like 90% of Manteo, you have to ride by Kelly's Automotive right there. It's on the left just before the Good Dog Retreat, which is formerly known as Big Al Soda Fountain and Grill, and just past Jump Masters. Again, it's on the left coming into Manteo. I mean, it's maybe a quarter mile-ish or so past the Midway stoplight right there at Manteo-Wanchese intersection. He's got a lot of work trucks out there right now. He's got the sheds. And again, if you're in the market for a shed and you don't see the style that you're looking for out there, you let Kelly know the specs and everything like that, and then they can go and look online and find you that shed. Same thing for a car. If you don't see the car that you're looking for online or on the website or on their lot, you let Kelly know what you're looking for, and he'll go find it. Check him out online at kellysobxauto.com. And Kelly, get well soon. I noticed that you had that surgery on your arm the other day. I saw you in a sling. You looked like you were doing okay, but I'm telling you, man, I mean, you're a good-looking guy. There's no doubt about that. We know this, but need you to get well soon, brother. Get well soon. Of course, powering this vessel, Outer Banks Pest Control. Now, Outer Banks Pest Control is another one of those places that I pass multiple times a day. It is on your right when you come into Manteo, okay? It's just across the street from like where the government offices are. So when you come around into Manteo, if you're coming from the beach or you're going through the intersection, whether you're coming from the Mans Harbor direction or the Wanchese direction, go across, you go past Renaissance Construction, you go past Murray Auto or Napa. It's not Murray Auto anymore. I'm always going to call it Murray Auto. You go past the little ice machine place that's right there on the right. You come up, there's the government offices on your left. You can turn to go back there. Just past that on the right, just past your little ice machines right there. That is where you find Outer Banks Pest Control. Miss Jessie, she does a wonderful job with her staff, eradicating all the varmints, the mice, any sort of creepy crawlies that may be plaguing your home, your office, whatever the case may be. Outer Banks Pest Control will be there to handle that business for you. Check them out online at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com. Hey, it's November, y'all. I'm telling you, this has been the fastest year I've ever had in my entire life. I feel like Christmas was just yesterday from last year. Not even kidding. I feel like baseball season for my son's baseball team this past year was just like yesterday. I mean, there's so many different elements to this year that I feel like, holy smokes, I feel like I was just doing that yesterday. I was hanging Christmas, like Halloween's over, got through Halloween, had a great time. Downtown Manteo is always a fun place to go for Halloween, but I know that there's the different communities on the Outer Banks have their own little spots and things to do for trick-or-treating and for Halloween fun. We always end up in downtown Manteo, and of course, it's always a fun time. So now that Halloween is over, my wife is like got this like twinkle in her eye and this little itch about her that all the Christmas stuff has to come out. Well, she's not wrong. I indulge. I mean, what's the word I'm looking for? I submit to the Christmas wishes that she has, and I begin getting things out. Well, last year she decided she was throwing away all the bush lights, not Bush Light the beer, but the lights that go on the bushes. She got rid of all of them, and she got rid of all of the hanging, the icicle lights, and she bought all new lights. Well, the icicle lights, I had to rehang them. Like the ones that I've had, they were so easy to clip up because I just left the clips on there. All I had to do was just and it kept them all I kept them all plugged in together, and all I had to do was just kind of clip them up, boom, 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 climb down the ladder maybe 30 times, and not that many times, but you get what I'm saying, like a bunch of times, and clip them up, and I was done in 15 minutes getting that done. That's all it really took. Now this year I had to reclip everything and redo all that. Man, it took me like an hour. Luckily my wife was out there helping, so that worked out pretty good. But we also got this new yard ornament. My littlest is obsessed with Lightning McQueen from the movie Cars. So we got a Lightning McQueen Christmas yard ornaments. Lightning McQueen with like an elf hat on. It's pretty cute, honestly. That's in my front yard right now. So I haven't even gotten everything out yet, y'all. That's the thing. It was getting late in the day with the time change last weekend. It was getting dark. I mean, it was just lots of things taking place, and I'm not done. I'm not done. Hey, Thanksgiving, though. We're not going to forget about Thanksgiving. That's coming up later this month. And of course, I'll be talking to you in the coming weeks about what's going on Thanksgiving wise here on the Outer Banks, where you can go have those nice Thanksgiving dinners. I know Jolly Roger posted theirs on their social media the other day. I think it's like $35. And they've got some amendments to that for like the little ones. They got their stuff posted up online. You best believe like places like Red Sky Cafe and Bass Nights Lone Cedar and some of the usual suspects for having the big the big Thanksgiving dinners. They'll have their stuff online in the very near future. And of course, I'll be talking all about that. You know that. So this episode of the podcast, I really was like, holy smokes. Just yesterday when I was trying to sculpt the episode and trying to put it all together, I was like, I was kind of scanning through Facebook. I didn't know what I was going to talk about, and all of a sudden it hit me. Truck Fest. The OBX Truck Fest is coming up this Saturday, and I was like, oh my gosh. Called my buddy Ryan Walker over at Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance, or War Diesel for the layperson, over in Kill Double Hills. I was like, hey man, talk to me a little bit about this. I was going to try to get him to be on the show, and he was like, nah man, you need to talk to this guy, Eric. Eric Zapp is his name, like Zap. He said, you need to talk to him, man. That's like the head honcho of this whole thing. And he gave me his phone number and everything and was like, dude, give him a shout. I'm sure he'd be willing to talk to you. So I'm going to call and get on the phone, Mr. Eric, in just a few moments. And we're going to talk all things about the OBX Truck Fest that's taking place this weekend at the Soundside Event Site. It's the 7th through the 9th right there in Nags Head. And of course, I was reading on his social media. And of course, I'll link his social media to the description of this podcast. But I was reading over it, man. From what I understand, he's got upwards of like 400 trucks already signed up for this thing. But we'll get all the details from him in just a little bit about that. Trying to think about news. I know that one of the big things that people want to know more about is what's going on. These houses down in Buxton that have been falling in the ocean. Again, I'm not going down some of those rabbit holes that we could go down for that stuff because it can get too twisted up in a political scene. And I'm not trying to do all that. We are not a political podcast. I mean, I may talk about church every so often, but I'm not telling you what church to go to. I'm just saying there's great churches here on the Outer Banks that you can attend. I'm not telling you how to pray. I'm not telling you how to do any of that stuff. What I am telling you is about things going on the Outer Banks and all the fun that you can have. But if you want to know more about the news and what's going on, you're going to want to go to SamWalkerOBXNews.com. He's the Grand Slam. Woo! Sam Walker. Yes, he is Mr. No. He is in the know. All right. I'm just saying, if you got questions about the news, Sam Walker is the answer. SamWalkerOBXNews.com. He can get you up to speed with everything you want to know that's newsworthy on the Outer Banks. I want to thank George Etheridge for being here last week. I know Wanchi's Christmas, that's coming up at the end of the month. I believe, was it November the 29th, that last Saturday of the month. Yours truly will be out there doing some work on the microphone. I'm also going to be organizing and setting up the Christmas parade. All those different things that are going to be taking place. So go ahead and get that date on your calendar, November 29th, Saturday, at the Wanchi's Community Building for all the festivities and to see the Wanchi's Christmas Parade. Captain Marty, we just did a show at Wanchi's Marina with Captain Marty for his Captain Marty Other Side of Fishing show. That'll be out Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 8th. So I suggest when you get an opportunity, when that comes out, you make sure you take a listen to it. We had a lot of great captains on there, a lot of fun. And of course, we're doing more things. We're rolling into the new year with Captain Marty. Next year is going to be even bigger. If you want to be a piece of Captain Marty, you want to be on the Captain Marty show, you let me know. You can email me, Justin@OuterBanksThisWeek.com, or you can give us a call here on the podcast hotline. It's also the Captain Marty hotline, 252-216-2797. Speaking of phone calls to the podcast hotline, I'll get it right. We also had a phone call. My buddy, A friend of mine I've met through the podcast, honestly. He's a great guy. We talk on a regular basis. We text back and forth. Yeah, nearly. It's almost daily. Mr. Adam Dye, he called and left me a voicemail. Here is my man, Mr. Adam up there of the Chesapeake, Virginia area.
My brother, this is Adam up from Chesapeake, Virginia. Just giving you a call. Loving the podcast. Hope you have a great day. Behave yourself. Bye.
Man, what a great guy. I know, again, he listens to the podcast every week. He lets me know what he likes, what he doesn't like. He makes suggestions, and that's what I would encourage you to do. I want you to be more like my man, Mr. Adam of the Chesapeake area of Virginia. I mean, call me, 252-216-2797. Leave me a voicemail. Again, that's also the Captain Marty hotline. Or shoot me an email, justin@outerbanksthisweek.com. All right, quick break. When we come back, we're going to get Mr. Eric Zapp on the phone to talk about OBX Truck Fest. Surrounded by water, Currituck and the people of the Outer Banks have been shaped and defined by its rich and coastal maritime history. The Currituck Maritime Museum tells the story of Currituck's boat-building forefathers, their remarkable craft, and the legacy they left behind on how to live life and thrive on the waters of the Outer Banks. Discover the Maritime Museum in historic Corolla Park, across the street from the Currituck Beach Lighthouse, and visit us online at currituckmaritimemuseum.com. Be a part of the local history at the Currituck Maritime Museum. All right, joining me by phone right now, and I couldn't get the gentleman. It was such a short notice to try to get him in here into the studio, but joining me by phone right now, I don't know what the correct title, a gentleman that's kind of overseeing OBX Truck Fest this coming weekend, Mr. Eric Zapp. Mr. Eric, how are you today?
Hey, good morning. Doing well.
Good, man. So talk to me, this Truck Fest. So let me just kind of give you a little background on how I discovered it. It was something I was kind of cruising through Facebook one day, and I just happened to see, it was like a suggested event or something of that nature, and it was OBX Truck Fest. And I noticed that one of my dear friends, Ryan Walker of War Diesel in Kill Devil Hills, was a sponsor. And I was like, what is this? So I kind of clicked interested on it. And a few days later, I happened to see Ryan. I said, hey, man, what is this OBX Truck Fest thing? He's like, oh, it's going to be this big truck rally that's going to take place at the Soundside Events site in Nags Head. And of course, that kind of leads us to where we are today. Talk to me a little bit about what Truck Fest is, how it got started, the ideas, all that stuff.
So it's myself and a buddy of mine, Glenn Brown. We're the two promoters and owners of the event, and we've got some other people behind the scenes with it as well too. So my buddy Glenn, he owns a mini truck show out in South Carolina. That's where he lives, called Terminal Takeover. So he's been in the trucking scene for about 30-ish years or so. And I am in the C10 scene. I have a frame off 1983 C10. So I travel around to a lot of the C10, big national C10 events and stuff. And I have an apparel brand for it and everything. And I live just about an hour north of Outer Banks. And one of the things that I had always talked about with friends was, man, I wish there was truck shows out this way. I'm always driving 5 to 15 hours for these big truck shows. We don't have anything out here. And over the last couple of years, I became pretty good friends with Michael Tillett and his whole crew from
the Hot Rods.
They put on such a great event, and they're such great people. And so I had gotten to talking with them a little bit and talking with my buddy Glenn, and we decided, hey, let's bring a truck show to the Outer Banks, because there isn't one. They have the Jeep Invasion, they've got the Rod and Custom Festival, they've got Sumo Speed Beach Bash, but there isn't anything specifically for trucks. And one of the big things in the truck scene that we like is events that have cruising. And they're hard to find. One of my favorite events is in Maggie Valley, North Carolina, that I go to every April. And it's just cruising all weekend. It's really laid back. Everybody has a good time. And the whole town comes out just to watch the cruising. And it's just a really cool vibe and atmosphere. And Glenn and I were talking and said, man, that'd be really cool if we could do that on the beach. And I was like, I think I know a good location for that. So I started chatting with Michael and all the guys from Rod and Custom Festival and said, hey, what do you think about this? I think with our social media presence, I think we could make this happen. I think there would be some interest with it. And so we threw it out on social media, and everybody was like, yeah, do it. Let's go. We'll come to the Outer Banks. And so that's kind of where it went. So I contacted the town, reserved some dates. Myself and Glenn started putting everything together, and with the huge help from the Rod and Custom Festival crew, they helped us go through the entire process with all the local personnel that were needed for fire chief and police chief and town committee, and getting all the permits and event plans and this and that. And they've kind of walked us through their lessons learned and helped us. And it worked out really, really great. And we're utilizing the event to donate to the same nonprofit that OBX Rod and Custom Festival donates through, Garage Band Charities Inc. So it's a nonprofit show, and we're looking to just get as many people down here as possible and give back to the people of Dare County and bring some really cool trucks down here. And we've got, I think, just under 400 trucks registered for this first year, and they're coming from 15 different states.
Holy smokes. Goodness gracious. Now, this is happening. It's not just a one-day event. Is that correct? It's this entire upcoming weekend, yes?
Yes. So vendor setup is Thursday, so it's not open to the general public. So we bring in all of our vendors, our booth vehicles, our food trucks. And then Friday and Saturday is the actual event. So it runs from 10 till about 4:30 every day, Friday and Saturday. Vendors will be getting there around 8 o'clock in the morning, but the gates won't open to show vehicles or spectators until 10 a.m. each day. And it's going to run pretty much all through the night. After 4:30 and the show concludes on the actual show field, we are highly encouraging everybody to get the trucks off the show field and go down the highway in front of the event site and just cruise all night, show off your trucks in the town responsibly. We've put out event rules on what the police department is looking for and code of conduct and everything. So we just want everybody to cruise and have a good time, create a family-friendly event, and really get the town involved just to see all the hundreds of trucks just cruising. And we're doing kind of like a pre-party, after-party type thing over at Shipwrecks Friday and Saturday night, just trying to get everybody together and go bring the families out, get some good food and hang out, and just get everybody together to kind of just share their passion for trucks and bring something new to the town.
Well, that's excellent. I mean, you have definitely done your homework. You've definitely really put a lot of energy, I can tell, into this event. I mean, it's like you said, you got the hot rodding, the custom cars that, Michael Tillett does every year. He's been doing that for a while now. And, and I'm so thankful. It's so nice to know that, like, he shared, his experiences and, all the different things that he may have gone through over the years to put that on with you so that you can make this a successful event. 400 trucks?
Yeah, I think we're right around like the 370 mark right now. We're still a couple days away, and we're going to allow day of registration. So I know that the event field can hold around 1,000-ish trucks total and some vendors, where we hope that we're at that level in the next couple of years. But for this year, we said, hey, it's the first year. We're just going to make 500 vehicle registration decals, and we got about 30 vendors that are coming on site. And so we'll have some spectator parking on site this year. As the event grows, the spectator parking will move to off-site locations, and the show field will just be strictly show trucks. But we should have that place pretty packed out this year. Spectators, we're not sure how many are going to show up. It's a first-year event for us. It might take a couple of years to gain some traction down here. I know a lot of the events do get pretty good spectator counts down there, so we're hoping that everybody comes out to it. It's free. It's a family-friendly event. Donations are accepted, and just a lot of good vendors, a lot of cool trucks, and we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to go very, very well for this first year. It's really laid back. We have a couple of awards we're doing. We wanted the show to not be focused on awards, so we're only doing around 20 like best of category awards, really cool, like surfboard style awards. But we want people just to come out and enjoy the event for the charity and the love of trucks, and to just hang out and be around people who share the same hobbies as them. So it's going to be a good time.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was looking at, I was going to ask you about some of the awards and everything. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it's not good. I mean, you're going to have some, but you're not making it like that complete focus. You want everybody to kind of embrace the different styles and the different body types of the trucks that are going to be out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's just I don't know how, like, and I keep going back to my guy Ryan Walker over at War Diesel, and it's not for any other reason than I grew up with the guy. I lived right next door to him all through elementary school, middle school, high school, all the way through graduation, and he was constantly, even before he could drive, tinkering around with his dad's old truck. I mean, we called it Barney. It was he had it lifted up on like 38s with Super Swamper boggers, Mickey Thompson wheels. I mean, we called it Barney because it was purple. It was like the Barney the dinosaur, you know? But to make a long story short, like, you know, that was his passion. That was what he did. And now he's turned it into, you know, he's got his own diesel performance shop in Kill Devil Hills. Speaking of that, you've got some pretty good sponsors for this event. You want to talk a little bit about your sponsors?
Yeah, so we do have a lot of good sponsors this year and a lot of vendors. Like I said, we've got right around 30 vendors and sponsors this year, plus or minus a couple that aren't attending because they're out at SEMA this year, but they hopped on as sponsors and stuff. So one of the big ones is FBK Off-Road. So before we get into the sponsors too, like it's we've had a lot of questions as far as like what types of vehicles, or what types of trucks are allowed at the event.
Yes,
and we're telling everybody it's all trucks. It's lifted, it's lowered, it's new body style, it's old body style, C10s, mini trucks. It can be any level of build. We welcome it all. A lot of people think it has to just be this crazy show build to get onto the field. That is not the case. It can be a primered truck that you're working on in your garage that's got a set of wheels on it and you're just starting out with it. Bring it to the show field. If it's a $200,000 SEMA build, bring it to the show field. We're parking them all next to each other. We're all there for the same reason. We all love trucks. So we're welcoming anything that can come out, and anybody who wants to display it. It's all for charity. We're all there for the same reason. So you're going to, like I said, you'll see everything from a $5,000 garage build out there to a $200,000 like fully blown show truck build. So there's going to be a little bit of everything. There's going to be some diesels out there. There's going to be, I mean, it's a good mix of everything. So if you're into trucks, you're probably going to see something that you like on the show field.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So let me ask you this now. If I drove up there in my little Tonka truck, would you let me display it and hang out and, you know, be cool like that?
Absolutely. We welcome anybody with a truck. You can either pay the entry fee, which the day of is going to be $50 instead of $40. You can park on the show field. You get your window registration. Again, all the proceeds were donated in charities through Garage Band Charities, Inc. If you just want to spectate and hang out, it's free parking for spectators. It's free entry for spectators. There's no gates or anything. We do have assigned parking for spectators, and you just park and come enjoy the show and hang out. So we welcome everybody, regardless whether they want to show their truck or not.
Excellent. So that's all good information as far as, you know, the types of trucks. Like, you're not discriminating. It's like it can only be a 6-inch lift on a 87 Chevy. Like, it's not anything like that. Like it's all trucks.
It's everything. And that includes SUVs and stuff too. We've got Jeeps that are registered. We've got SUVs that are registered. We've got trucks that are registered. It's a little bit of everything.
All right. Hey, look, I love this. This is going to be a great event for you. I can already tell. But like I was saying, I noticed that GMG and High Tider are one of your hosts. Man, you got
so they're our host sponsors.
Yeah, you got in with a great group there. The Overton family, there's some fantastic folks over there. That's one of the things that jumped off at me.
He reached out actually pretty early on. I'm not sure how he saw the event, probably on social media, probably Facebook, I would imagine. He reached out pretty early on. He's been awesome. So they hopped on as our host sponsors and also our golf cart sponsors. So they're bringing some golf carts down. They're going to provide a golf cart for the staff so we can ride around and manage the event. So they're setting up. And then we got lots of other sponsors on board. We've got FBK Off-Road. So that's my buddy Curtis, and they're an off-road shop. They won't be on site. He sponsored a couple things with the show. They won't be on site because they're currently out at SEMA this week, but they were happy to hop on as a sponsor. And then we've had Driven Clothing. They'll be on site. They're a sponsor for screen printing all of our event merch for us. We had Bright Mod Detailing from up in the Virginia area. They sponsored our after party for us. They will not be on site. They're currently also out at SEMA. But they were happy to help with the event. Had my buddy Craig that owns Battle and Bama Show. He hopped on and sponsored our window registration decals for us and stuff. We had Captain's Mini Ministries. They hand out like a lot of prayer cards and crosses and stuff and kind of just preach the word of God. They hopped on to sponsor our registration hangers to hang on your mirrors. We've got Diesel Truck Wars that hopped on as a sponsor for all of our awards. Mike Boise's hopping on and donating some really cool like custom trophies for like best of show and best paint. We had Relaxing in the Park that hopped on as a sponsor. We, like I said, GMG and High Tider, they hopped on. We got Diesel Cruise Supply Co. It's an apparel company. They hopped on as a sponsor. And we had Johnny's Speed Shop that helped sponsor the artwork for our event. We got Jack's Wax Culpepper as a sponsor, War Diesel as a sponsor. Bonnie Blue helped sponsor some of our staff shirts for us. We just had a lot of really great companies all hop on as sponsors this year to just say, how can we help, whether we're going to be there or not? We want to help you guys have a successful event. And we had pretty much sponsorships available for everything. Most of our sponsors are out of town sponsors, just because the local scene hadn't really heard of us yet. So we're going to try and tailor the sponsorships next year more towards local businesses to help get the word out for them and a good return on investment for them. This year, we kind of just brought in people from everywhere, anybody who was willing to help and create a successful event.
Well, it sounds to me like you've done very well. And of course, I'm sitting here as we're talking about the sponsors and everything. I'm perusing through your Facebook page, which I will link to this podcast after I get it posted up. And you have been very, very diligent, is that the right word, about posting, about keeping people updated on what's going on. I mean, you've got all the different things, the day parts broken down by what's going to be going on each day of the event. You're posting pictures of the vehicles. You listed a lot of your sponsors and everything are all up here. The event rules, they're all right here on, and you can just search OBX Truck Fest on Facebook to get all the details there. So you've done very well. I can tell this is going to be a very successful event, and it'll be one of those things that it's like you've created a monster and it's just going to get bigger. It's just almost like Frankenstein, like it's alive, baby.
Yeah.
So, again, I think this is going to be a great event. You're going to have a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people that have, lots of trucks and everything like that. And even those that just are truck enthusiasts and love the trucks, they can come out and see all the coolness that's going to be taking place out there on Friday and Saturday. The 8th and the 9th? Yes.
It'll be the 7th and 8th. 7th is Friday, 8th is Saturday.
There you go. Okay, so I'm getting my days all confused. Thank you for clearing that up.
No worries. I think Saturday will be the busier day. I've heard a lot of people that work on Fridays, so they said, "Hey, I'm coming up Saturday. Can we still come just for one day?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." So Fridays, and that's typical at multi-day shows, is Fridays the kind of the slow roll in, people hang out. You might see half the amount of trucks there on the Friday or whatever. Saturdays are usually the full experience and everybody's on the show field. And that's kind of what we're expecting this year. We're not sure how many day of registrations we're going to get because we've never held an event down here before. But we do have about 130 window decals left. So once we run out of those, that's it for the first year. But yeah, it is open for day of registrations, first come, first serve. If you're trying to park a trailer, we've got 2 spots for trailer parking, first come, first serve. We've posted those on Facebook. We try and tell everybody that's coming from out of town to get down here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whenever you can, to just kind of settle in, get the trailers parked and get the trucks unloaded Friday morning into the event. Because we have people that are coming all the way from like Michigan and New York and Florida, and it's crazy.
Oh, I was looking at your map just a minute ago, which is also on your social media site with Facebook at OBX Truck Fest. I was looking at the highlighted states, and I was like, oh my gosh, Michigan. Okay. Well, Mr. Eric, I appreciate you giving me some time. More details can be found is it just on your Facebook page? Is that where it's located right now?
Yeah, so we have the Facebook page. We have our actual website, which is obxtruckfest.bigcartel.com. This year, we just made a simple little web page just to get the event up and throw up a registration on it and a little bit about the show. Come next year, we'll revamp and go with a really professional website and keep it going, since this will be an ongoing event for this year. We try to just keep it simple and easy for people. You can also find us on Instagram for OBX Truck Fest. Those are the 2 platforms that we're on. There's a Facebook event link for it, so share it. All your buddies, tap into it. I think there's around 2,000 people that have tapped in on the Facebook event so far for this year, so we're super excited about that and thankful for it.
Well, you're going to have, I got a good feeling about the turnout you're going to have for this. And this is going to be something that you're going to, people are going to be like, what's happening next year? What are you doing next year? What are you doing next year? So any ideas for next year already? Or are we just trying to get through this weekend first?
Trying to get through this weekend. We want the show to grow bigger. So for this first year, where you have the show vehicles, the vendors, and spectator parking all on site together, just to fill up the show field and keep it all in one place. As the show grows, we'll start allowing more vehicles in. We'll move spectator parking off site. We do have police that are hired to put a crosswalk out in front of the event site. So if you do park across the street or anything, please utilize the crosswalk. It'll be there all day, manned by local police. And like I said, we've got some trailer parking and everything on there. You will see big caution signs driving down the highway there saying that there's an event happening. So drive slow. Please don't block the traffic or anything. We posted an event map that's on our Facebook and our Instagram showing the entry lanes, how to get into the event. Everything coming into the event is going to be right turn only. Everything coming out of the event is going to be right turn only as well too. We're trying to make sure we don't impede traffic on that highway. That was our main concern, was we don't know how many trucks are going to show up, and we didn't want to create a mile long backup on the highway there of people trying to get into the event. So if you're coming in, please don't block traffic. Make sure you guys follow the signs. We're going to try and get everybody in as quickly as possible and not block or hold up any traffic or anything.
Excellent, Mr. Eric. Well, I'm glad you gave all those details about all the information with the police going to be out there and how to safely enter and exit the facility. Looking forward to a great weekend. Looking like the weather is going to be absolutely phenomenal for this thing. Praying that it stays that way. And dude, I really, really appreciate you giving me some time today to talk about this.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on. But yeah, this is going to be every year we're going to put this on. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's always going to be for charity. It's always going to be family friendly. So yeah, tell everybody. And if you're a local business that's interested in being a part of this event in any kind of way, whether it's as a vendor or as a sponsor or anything that we can do to work with you on this event, we welcome everybody, regardless what type of business it is. Again, this event is for Dare County. So we want to involve as many local businesses and people as possible on this event to help out down there.
Excellent. Well, Mr. Eric, again, I appreciate all that you're doing to pour back into the community here on the Outer Banks and whatnot. And I pray a successful event takes place this weekend. I feel like you've got the ingredients for the recipe of success here. And I got a feeling that it's going to be everything you want it to be. So, dude, I really appreciate it. I got Mr. Eric Zapp here with me on the podcast. Thank you so much for giving me some time today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
The Black Pelican Restaurant at Milepost 4 in Kitty Hawk has been a premier dining destination on the Outer Banks for over 31 years. Originally a life-saving station, it provided aid for boats that were stranded along the oceanfront. Today, that same building is credited with serving some of the best cuisine you'll find anywhere on the Outer Banks. One look at their menu and you'll be captivated by their famous wood-fired pizzas, cocktails, succulent seafood platters, and a host of much more. Whether it's a meal for 2 or 22, the Black Pelican can accommodate. Visit them online at blackpelican.com to see their menus and get a glimpse of what awaits. The Black Pelican Restaurant, helping to create those Outer Banks memories since 1993.
All right, we're going to jump into some events, and all these events can be found online at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. I'm going to look at some of the highlighted ones that are going to be going on over the next few weeks. Taking a look. Oh, Saint Day. So this coming Friday the 7th, starting at 5 o'clock, it is a Saint Day celebration at Jack Brown's Beer and Burger Joint right there in Kill Devil Hills. Appears as if there's going to be some live music going on also at Bass Knight's Lone Cedar over at Fish Heads. There's going to be some partying going on at Stormy C's Bottle Shop. It's First Friday in the town of Manio for downtown Manio. Of course, live music at New Vines down there. There's also going to be music going on at, Jolly Roger, some guy named Joel. He's going to be jamming out. And of course, silent disco taking place that evening at Jack Brown's as well. Looking up ahead, going into the weekend, there's a Mean Girls brunch going on Saturday, November 8th, starting at 11 a.m. So if you're a mean girl, or you like the movie Mean Girls, or you think you're one of the Plastics, or Regina George, or Gretchen Wieners, or what was the name of the other girl? I can't even remember her name. Regardless, that's where you're going to want to be. Mean Girls brunch starting Saturday, November 8th at 11 a.m. at Jack Brown's in Kill Devil Hills. Again, more things going on up and down the beach that you're not going to want to miss. Things going on. Like I said, Buffalo City Distillery is going to be having an acoustic Sunday. That's happening starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Give you an opportunity to go to church and then go hang out at Buffalo City Distillery. Hey, why not? Looking ahead again, all these different events take place right here on the Outer Banks. And I encourage you to just go on over to outerbanksthisweek.com and take a look at them all in their entirety. Again, we talked about Truck Fest. You heard us talking about that coming up this weekend and all the different things that are going into next week. Wrapping up a lot of the fall season, something I always lead off with this. And for one reason or another, I just didn't right now. But hey, high school and middle school athletics, make sure you show love and support to those kids that are playing in whatever sport. I mean, I know we got Manteo High School is going to be having their playoff football game coming up on November the 14th. I know that there's been a lot of activity going on in the world of tennis, soccer. I think some of those have wrapped up and they're transitioning over to wrestling, basketball season, swimming. There's so many different things that are going to be going on that in the world of high school and middle school athletics that you're going to want to try to get the calendars for. And I'm not talking about just here locally with Cape Hatteras First Flight Manteo. I'm talking about wherever you are. Go show those kids love and support. You know, don't forget about the trivia nights and the live music that's going on. Of course, you got me doing trivia. I'm not doing it. I didn't do it this past Wednesday. I'm not going to be doing it next Wednesday. I'm going to be out of town. But trivia nights at McGrath's Burger Shack. That's every Wednesday starting at 6 o'clock. And there's other trivia nights. If you go to Greg Smerdell's Facebook page, you type in Greg Smerdell Outer Banks Trivia, he always posts a list every week of where you can go and find trivia. Sand Trap Tavern, Shipwrecks, Noosa Beach Grill. I mean, there's so many different, way back Collington Pizza. There's other places that you can go and do trivia, not just at McGrath's, but I always say come hang out with me because I guarantee you a good time. We're going to party like it's 1999. But again, look at our website, outerbanksthisweek.com. Okay, click on the events tab and you can see daytime events, nighttime events, community events, annual events. They even list up events that are going on in Edenton, North Carolina, which is a fun town, y'all. Beautiful little town. So I suggest going and checking all that out in its entirety and seeing what is taking place up and down this beach right now at outerbanksthisweek.com. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast. I do want to thank Mr. Eric Zapp for being on the podcast with me, phoning in from Moyock, North Carolina. That's where he is right now. He's in the Coast Guard. I talked to him off the mic for a little bit, and his heart and soul is in these types of events, man. I'm telling you. Great guy. Looking forward to this event. It's going to be huge, y'all. Y'all heard him talking about it. It's going to be huge. So if you get an opportunity to come and participate and see what's going on out there at the Soundside event site, I encourage you to do so. I'm going to do my best to get out there as well. So I thank Mr. Eric for giving me some time today on the podcast. Next week, I've got Miss Jen Crossman and maybe a few others from the Misfit Bars coming in to talk and see what's going on with the Misfit Bars for this upcoming holiday season. With that being said, I'm Justin. I'm going to head on out of here for the rest of the week. I want you to have yourself a great and wonderful rest of your week. And I'll see y'all again next week. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, y'all. Take care now. Bye-bye.
This has been another radical edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, follow us on social media, and listen every Thursday for a new episode.